There is an item called the Snowy Knight. It's a butterfly and you need 3500 to catch it. Once you have it in your inventory, you can use that on other players to heal them for 15 hit points. It is one of the few items in old school Runescape that allows you to heal your friends instead of yourself. In fact, all of the butterflies in this game have a special unique effects. Ruby butterfly works as a super attack, Sapphire butterfly is super defense potion, and the Black Warlock works as a super strength potion. So technically, when you go bossing with your friends, you can all heal and boost each other up if needed, because that's what true friendship is all about, just bunch of dudes and butterflies. It's interesting things like this that make me really appreciate how deep this game goes, so I decided to find a few more fun and interesting facts about old school RuneScape that you might not know about, starting with this potion. It's called Menafite Remedy and it has one purpose: to restore your stats to normal. I know, doesn't sound very appealing. However, players figured out it also has the opposite effect where it keeps your boosted stats for longer. Good example is this: bring 1 dose of Super Combat Divine Potion and 1 dose of Menafite Remedy. Drink your Super Combat and your stats will stay for 5 minutes. We all know that, right? Now, as soon as the Divine Potion effect is about to run out, you drink your Menafite Remedy and your stats will stay the same, essentially allowing you to have boosted stats for twice as long and for a lot cheaper. 4 doses of Menafite Remedy potions cost like 1.5k GP, so it's super cheap to utilize and basically squeeze out double the value. It does work on all effects: ranging potions, combat potions, non-combat stats, even on items like Imbued and Saturated Heart. For example, if you click on your Saturated Heart, you will gain plus 13 magic boost for 5 minutes, and before that 5 minutes is up, you can drink 1 dose of Menafite Remedy and now you will gain that boost for another 5 minutes without actually needing the Saturated Heart in your inventory. It's really useful for raiding because oftentimes you need to pre-pot before you enter the raid, so bringing 1 dose of Menafite Remedy allows you to double your pre-pot timers. And again, this goes for everything: magic, ranged, melee, you name it. And like I mentioned, 1 dose of Menafite Remedy is so cheap that it's basically guaranteed value everywhere you go, whether you do raids, Slayer, maybe even wilderness content where you don't want to bring valuable items with you. Funnily enough, it's actually a bug because it's supposed to have the opposite effect like I mentioned before, where let's say you use Saradomin Brew and it lowers your stats. The initial idea was that Menafite Remedy restores that lowered stats, but players figured out it also has the opposite effect where it keeps your boosted stats. So use this potion while you can, because there might come a point where Jagex removes this interaction. Okay, let's try away from potions for a little bit and talk about your game settings, because there is so much interesting things here that players are not taking advantage of. First off, whenever you die, your food and potions will automatically not go to the grave, but there is a way to fix that through settings. Just click the box that says I want my food and potions to go to my gravestone, and whenever you die in game, you will have all your supplies automatically in your grave now. But for me, the most interesting part is how you can deadpile supplies to teleport somewhere else, which allows you to have hundreds of food stockpiled in one boss location. Let me show you. This is super interesting. So let's say there is a boss right here and I'm gonna die and it's super far away from a bank, so it's very tedious to bank every time I ran out of food. What I can do is just keep respawning with full inventories of food over and over and over again. And all of this food that I'm losing right now will go to the initial gravestone that I set up 5 minutes ago, which in our case would be that really scary boss really far away. This allows you to teleport your food across the map without actually running there yourself. And the best part is that food will stay on the ground for 1 hour before it disappears, so you don't have to worry about losing it immediately. Plus this also works with potions and other supplies, so you can even bring extra Saradomin brews and super restore potions or even combat potions. This is really good for Slayer bosses like demonic gorillas where the banking is a little bit tedious, maybe things like Alpha Queen where the bank is really far away, or any other boss similar to this. The only restriction is that your gravestone needs to be in an open world, so no instances, and yeah, that's about it. Hopefully your grinds are now much easier. There are a few other game settings as well that also help you out with your grinds. One of them is the setting which allows the players to make 100 darts with just 1 click. For the longest time, players had to manually make darts, but this actually has been in the settings for a long time now. The other one I really enjoy was disabling my level up interface, which is especially good on new accounts. You know, when you get level 2 fishing, level 3, level 4 and so on, and it always pops up, you can actually disable all of that in settings under the level up interface. And from now on, it doesn't delay your actions. And finally, Jagex added a cool feature back in summer where your runes in your rune pouch stay there when you die, and now they added in even more items like rune crafting pouches, herb sacks, seed boxes, tackle boxes, bolt pouches. So now when you die with these items in your inventory, the items inside those pouches and sacks will stay there even after death, meaning I don't have to manually put in 50 herbs into my herb sack again. Okay, I have another one for you, and this one actually doesn't so much help you in game, but it's just actually really interesting trivia to know. And basically the answer to the question, which video game holds the world record for most amount of original music, is actually Runescape. And all of it is user friendly and royalty free. Obviously Jagex owns the music, but they have never taken down any video that uses their music. And that's why you see a lot of big YouTubers use Runescape music in their content. Also, the other reason is because it's absolutely banger. People who have never heard about Runescape have probably listened to Sea Shanty too. And another good example is the Vartorvis music mod Ash produced a few months ago. When that enrage phase kicks in during Vartorvis fights, oh my god, it just hits the right spot. Okay, enough about dope music, let's do a quick fire round. There is a RuneLite plugin that allows you to have the spirit tree as an interactive map, which I found to be so much easier to use. Firstly, go to the plugin hub and search for spirit tree map. After you download the plugin and go to your nearest spirit tree, it now shows an interactive map of all the spirit trees in the game. It even has options for spirit trees that you planted yourself. I found this to be so much easier to follow because the visual cues help me choose the right location. If you go to Tears of Kha'Zix and you have the same amount of experience in all skills, there is a specific order on how you will get the experience from this minigame, and it goes cooking, crafting, thieving, slayer, and so on. This is especially interesting for players who have 200 million experience in all skills, which means they will always gain cooking experience in Tears of Kha'Zix no matter what. The most common stat in Runescape players know is that 92 is half of 99, but this in reality works after every 7 levels. For example, level 60 is half of 67, level 40 is half of 47, and so on and so on. You can take any level in Runescape, and if you add 7 levels on top of it, that's double the experience. Radha's Blessing is one of the best teleports in the game because it saves you an inventory space when you're PVMing and don't have any other teleports with you. The bank is always one click away, it's also the closest access to redwood trees and recharging your Book of the Dead. Plus it has other benefits like there is a secret sandcloud dungeon next to it, and finally there are few clue steps nearby. Plus it's literally a free item after completing the current achievement diaries compared to other teleport methods. So Radha's Blessing fills in so many small niches that you should have it on you at all times. And the final tip I have for you is actually related to Ensouled heads, because not many people know about this, but you don't actually need to fight them near the dark altar. And I see a lot of people training their prayer there. You can actually fight them anywhere on the map. The only restriction is that you need to get the Ensouled heads as a drop, and if you cast a resurrection spell on them before you pick up the Ensouled heads, it spawns the monsters and you will get the full experience. You can't do this after the item is in your inventory, and actually it's 2 different item IDs. One ID is if it's on the ground and the other ID is if it's in your inventory. That's because technically when the item is on the ground it's not yet tradable, and that's why you can cast a spell on it. So whenever you're doing a Slayer task and you get Ensouled heads, it's actually really beneficial to just cast a spell and get like 1000 prayer experience in 10 seconds. Because I know, if you play an Iron Man, you're just gonna pile them up in your bank and you will never use them. Oh, and finally, this is my favorite thing ever. When you examine Ring of Endurance, it says, I wonder if this ring helps me with ... confirming that everyone at Jagex is horny. Well, this was it. Was there any facts that you didn't know about? I would love to know if there are more interesting things like this in the comment section below. So if you also have your fun ideas, please let me know. But that's it from me. I love you all very much and I'll see you all tomorrow with another video. Bye.